Good day, friends. It's so lovely to have you back again. I want to believe that so far you've been enjoying this training, and this is the week 2 of this training, and we'll be looking into the characteristics of healthy hair. So we'll be trying to, we've already listed out some topics that we'll be looking into, and for today, we're going to look at meet your hair. Meet your hair. You need to know really what your hair component really is. So hair is a protein filament that grows through the epidermis from the follicles deep within the dermis. It grows on most area of human body except the palms of the hands and the sole of the feet. Our focus is the hair that grows on the head. The hair is primarily composed of protein, notably keratin. Now, there are 3 parts of the hair. When you talk about the longitudinal view, there are 3 parts of the hair. The first is the bulb. The bulb is a swelling at the hair base which originates from the dermis. So here, the hair bulb is the living part of the hair, and that is where the cell division takes place for the hair to grow. Now the next is the root. The root is the hair lying beneath the skin surface. That's the scalp. So you don't actually see this part that we're talking about. Now the next is the shaft. The shaft is the hair above the skin surface. That's above the scalp. Okay, so the hair has a root that receives nutrient from the bloodstream, which gives it. So for nutrient, that means you have to, take good diet, sufficient diet that will help the hair grow better. And apart from that, we need to stimulate the blood flow by massage. Now, if you want to look at the cross-sectional view of the hair, it also has 3 parts. The first is the medulla. The medulla is an area in the core which contains loose cell and hair spaces. So, and the next is the cortex. The cortex contains densely packed keratin. So the keratin, I talked about keratin in the first place, that is a type of protein that the hair contains. So this is where actually you find densely packed keratin in the cortex. The next part of the hair is the cuticle. The cuticle is a single layer of cell arranged like root shingles. So what's the essence of all this? It means the hair needs aeration. So you don't have to, keep always tie your hair. The hair needs aeration. So you comb it, at least you allow air to flow through your hair. Now, according to research, normal growth of the human scalp hair is 0.4 millimeter per day. And I'll have to lay more emphasis on that. The hair grows 0.4 millimeter per day, and which means for a month you have recorded 1.2 centimeter per month, or if it's in inches, that's 0.5 inches. This is very, very important for you to take note of. So you don't have to rush the process. Just give it time, let it take its normal course. And another thing we should note is that the human scalp hair grows at a rate 4 times more than the human nails. So the human nails grow at least at the rate of 0.1 millimeter per day. I remember I said for the hair, it grows 0.4 millimeter per day. So the hair still grows faster than the nail, but yet you have to give it enough time. Be patient with your hair, don't rush the process. It is commonly accepted that emotional distress, especially that caused by verbal abuse, is often a contributing factor to slower hair growth rates. So when you experience stress, external stress, it can also contribute to reasons why people have retarded growth. They don't grow fast, and their hair don't grow as it ought to. So what are we saying? Don't rush. Just be patient with you. Allow the hair to go through the normal course. No, don't stress it, and allow the hair to grow through its normal course. So the hair is a non-living body structure composed primarily of protein called keratin, just like I've said earlier on. So you need more of protein diet. Since that is what the air contains, you need more of protein diet to also help boost the growth of the air. So it is produced by the organ which within the skin called the hair follicle. This is where your hair root is found. So it is produced, the keratin is produced within the hair follicle. Now the diameter of the human hair varies. You have it, and the range is from 0.017 millimeter to 0.18 millimeter. So you can take note of this diameter. And if it's in inches, we have 0.00067 to 0.00709 inches. So you can see that the hair is actually very fragile. We have to handle it with care. We should not stress it. We should not stretch it. By stretching it, you'll be putting so much stress on some particular area of the hair, and definitely it will pull off. So we should watch that we don't apply too much heat to the hair, or chemical, or any harsh put our hair in any form of harsh condition. Now, having said that, I also like us to know that there's a gland that is found in the skin generally. Well, since we're referring to the hair scalp, and this is known as the sebaceous gland. This sebaceous gland secretes an oily or waxy matter called sebum. I believe from our biology we already know what sebum is. And this sebum is what is responsible for lubricating the scalp and also the hair. So what that means is we also need to help the hair by creating an oily environment for the hair, so as to help the hair health. Okay, the only living part of the hair is found in the follicle. Only living part of the hair is found in the follicle, while the visible hair, which the one we can see, is known as the hair shaft. Now, what have we learned so far? We've seen the structure of the hair. By knowing the structure of the hair, we know that the hair needs protein to help augment structural integrity. So we also need to ensure that our diet has sufficient protein in it. And also we have to do some physical activities such as massaging the hair, at least on daily basis or regular basis. And we've also talked about consistency. Consistency is very key. Whatever you are doing, make sure you are consistent with it to help the hair health. And also we've also emphasized that we should allow air. Air is very important for the growth of the hair. Let hair blow on your hair. Allow it to breathe. If I may say that, allow it to breathe. And apart from that, don't rush any process. Allow the hair grow in its full course. Just ensure that you're doing what you ought to do, the right thing to do. Make sure you're doing. But if you discover you're doing something and it's not working, or it's causing any form of side effects on your hair, I would advise you to alter that process and try something new. And so you thereby be helping your hair instead of causing more harm to the hair. And also we've seen the diameter. By diameter I mean the thickness of the hair. How the thickness of the hair, how light, how fragile the hair is. So by knowing this, how fragile the hair is, it means we have to handle it with care. And that is why we encourage detangling. When you are detangling, you have to ensure your hair is moistened, not dry. When you detangle it dry, it breaks off easily. Thank you very much. I believe we've been able to learn one or two things. Please stay tuned for tomorrow's lecture. If you have any question, do well to drop below in the comment section. Thank you very much. Have a lovely